Hello everybody. So, today we are with Father Luis Fernandes again, and this is our second session with him. This is first of all, thank you, Father, for removing this time again for us, for being a part of this conversation. So, anything if we can add up to the existing series. Today, basic being, I've come across many people who, when they go back in their past or reflect about their own life, they have come across certain patterns of their behaviors, something that bothers them, that upsets them. They don't know from where it is coming or what is really happening with them. If you could discuss something more on that.
So some things, what we say, some behavior patterns, or sometimes we don't understand what is happening with us, or these habits, or these characteristics, or maybe also some allergies, or some fears, or some anxieties, or any other different phobias which keep coming to our minds or to our lives. So if you try to seriously understand, sometimes we go to search on Google or we take some counseling. That is also good, but there should be something which should help you. Most of the things are related to your past. What has happened in your past, your interaction with your family members. Even they say, literally to understand, it goes to the womb itself. When you were in your mother's womb, what traumas, what effects, what interactions, what conversations, the even the understanding verbal, non-verbal communication. So that has put an effect, and that effect, good or bad, good or good. So you see good things happening. You are at a positive outstretch out what say mind, positive mind. You are ready to do a lot of things. You are energetic. Some bad effects, you try to close yourself from everything, every person, situations. You don't want to face this, you do not face that. So those things, they will be discussed later, but those things have to be tackled. And those things which you, that first you should know what are those things, or what are those situations, and how can we tackle. We will learn it a little bit ahead.
Okay. You're trying to say there is a lot from the past, even from the time when we were conceived and biological mother state of mind, all that would have impacted us. So, from where does these things start? Like, what kind of memories or what would have brought us to this particular pattern in our adulthood?
So it could be, we can literally say, if you try to seriously understand what has been our life, interaction with people, interaction with family members, their presence also can make a world of difference in our life. They can mold our behavior, they can mold our character, they can mold our maybe our charisms, they can put that this person will be this way in this time. So how they have related with us, how they spoken with us, or how they have helped us in all these situations. So first thing is more important. Have they accepted you? It happens. Family, is the child boy or girl? First of all, now we don't. The church doesn't allow sonography to check the male or the female, whatever, boy or girl. It helps you for medications or. But sometimes the child, boy or girl, is not been accepted, and that creates first a problem. Sometimes the mother and father doesn't take care of their own bodies in time of when the pregnancy happens. That affects the child. Sometimes the child is grown up. The mother takes care of the child more, and the father is left out. So that also affects more. So all these situations keep building up, and the small things which are not we feel that we which are gone unnoticed can affect the child. So that effect remains, and slowly, gradually, it has been not tackled. So it builds up, and then more harm is caused to the child when the child is growing.
Yes, Father. I remember our discussion once wherein you would keep, you had noticed this behavior of mine more of a tomboy nature, and you kept saying, this is not how it is supposed to be. Accept yourself as a woman. And that's when I realized, in my growing years, I always felt as if I was neglected as a girl or not accepted or the situation around made me feel unsafe to be 100% woman. And through you, I had realized to let go that fear. So for me, fear was a main area which gave me trouble, which made me behave something that I'm not, which would not let me feel free with the way I'm supposed to be. So it was talking to you, I could realize that these things from childhood, the non acceptance, or no appreciation from the elders, or no value of your hard work as a woman, which led me to take a step which was not entirely me, and where I was struggling with those emotions. So what if somebody else is caught up in an area like this?
See, one thing, as I told you earlier also, take help, advice, take help. You can Google, you can take some counseling tips, you can read some books which are going to help. But one thing what I found is, if somebody is giving you correction, or somebody is telling you something, or somebody is helping you to improve, or somebody is giving you some feedback, please listen if it is applicable to you. First, you should be able to discern it. That is it applicable to me? Will it help me? Should I try it? So when I do these things, I will evaluate. Am I going on the right track? Am I going in the right direction? Am I finding peace? Am I finding proper understanding? Whatever. We try to seriously understand this. So when I try to evaluate, I'll try to, if it's not applicable, to leave it. If it's not applicable, if I give somebody some correction, example about this, a person doesn't want a correction, person egoistic, the person leave. But that correction was meant to help that person. That correction was meant to help that person, but a person didn't take it, and person is left high and dry. So the correction which has been given, correction is for your well-being, and when you evaluate and work on it, so you'll come to know that okay, these things are important for my life. Sometimes we try to adapt according to people and situations, because there is some family issues, or poverty, or male domination, or financial crisis, or more of strict discipline. We try to sober, or literally seep down, or literally calm ourselves, and worse, we do not live our own lives. That's a tragedy. When we do not live our own lives, or we do not want to face our fears or face our situation, then starts a tragedy. But one thing is more important. If you try to evaluate with all this help which has been extended, we'll come to know that each one, not only some 1, 2, 3, or you, me, everyone requires help in way or the other, everyone. But here people fail to understand that they think only medicine, doctor, only that. No, people are going through depression. People are going through some traumas, fears, and anxieties. When I Google about phobias, there's so many different phobias. So we can't really understand. Is it possible that there are so many phobias? So people are going through different sorts of problems. Each one has a different problem. So how do we tackle it? We tackle it on that connected core of that problem. So when I start working on that, I find peace. I find something good is happening with me. I find myself being improved, and I move ahead. So I would suggest for you and for me, it's for okay, now corrections are there. Evaluate if somebody is giving correction. Don't get upset. People get more upset, and why they should correct me, and why interfering in my life, and why they are bothered about me. They can't mind. The word is mind your own business. The problem is mind your own business. When people say mind your, people are not. People will tell you once, twice, third time they will not tell you. Whatever happens, you will damn care about it. You do. So that becomes a problem. When you are ready to accept, you will be molded for good.
Yes, Father. So, is there any sickness that relates to these memories or these kind of traumas?
See, sicknesses now we can say about fear, which I already spoke about fear. Example, if the child in the womb itself, we take most of the examples could go directly. We can read in the womb. The child is active, but not that active which can be seen. Okay, the mother can feel, or the family also can feel. Okay, the doctors can feel through the sonography or to the touch. But here, the situation example, the child has developed. Okay, example, child is a girl or a boy, and the parent expect opposite. There is a girl in the womb and parents expect boy, or is a boy in the womb, parents expect girl. So that becomes a problem. So the child develops a feeling of unwantedness already in the womb. So when the child comes up, the child will already, nobody wants me. In spite of they have taken, they have accepted. Second, at the time of child with the mother or with the family member, any small issue. Take example, a daddy is smoker, a chain smoker, and he knows that evil effects will affect the child because it's a smoking. My smoke can affect the child. So the daddy, for well-being of the child, keeps the child or keeps himself far away from the child, doesn't interact. So the child thinks my daddy doesn't love. If the mother is feeding the child and somebody rings the bell, for the shyness, she will remove the child from the breast. Child will think the mother doesn't love me. So this slowly, gradually develops. So sickness, not that sickness, but a distance has been created. Relationship distance, and that is a tragedy. Unwantedness or feeling of the depressed or negative, being bombarded with negative things or negative emotions, or a feeling of that literally lost, then low of confidence, shy, lot of things. Our family sometimes are overprotective. So that becomes like, girls should not do this, girls should not do this. So boys should, if you go playing and they get hurt, boys were protected. Same applies to me. I was not been able to go and play outdoor games because feeling okay he will fall. He was already not well, so I was been protected from going from outdoor big sports. So all these things slowly, gradually we have to work. We have to try to adjust and help. So sickness is there. Sickness is there through all these situations. But one thing is more important. More is of emotional difficulty. How we are able to combat, how you face, and how we relive an important event. That's more important.
Yeah, Father. So, what advice can be given to parents now that it is clear that certain behaviors from parents or elders can cause not so good memories or traumas? So, if you have any advice for parents or for relatives around.
See, one thing is, if you remember, whenever a parcel comes, a big parcel from maybe Dattani or Snehanjali or DMart, whatever, a big parcel comes. So what is written behind that? Handle with care. So that also applies not only to those things which are breakable or glass or any other very important electronics. So that also applies to a relationship to a person. Handle with care. Person needs help. So what can be done is extend your help, not to force that person. Okay, the person needs help, the person needs help. We bombard that person so much. Are you not okay, or this is happening, or that is happening, and this is happening. You are bombarding the person, goes back to shelf. So certainly how you can help the person. First thing I would say, pray. It's not we are not saying you're not talking about just religion, but you just pray for that person's heart to be open. Person should accept what you are telling that person should be ready to receive help. So handle with care this situation, this given situation. And when you, as you know, as your own personal interaction, you also need to evaluate your life with that person. And when you evaluate, you'll come to know this month, that month, this month, or this year, something or my interaction has caused this. That is called inner healing in the spiritual level. Inner healing. So I cannot go to that day or that month. I have to go to, if you try to seriously understand what we suggest in Christian spirituality, I invite Jesus. I invite Jesus to help that person there. So I can pray. I say, whoever you believe, at least pray for that month, that Lord, or whoever God you believe, pray. Heal those memories, or fill in that gaps, or fill in with love. What if you find some emotional patterns which have been, the vacuum which has been created, you go and bless that situation. You help the person to revive. You you hold that person if there was a fear of if the person, maybe small accident happened, the child within the womb is in suffering. So all these things can be done. So parents, please accept the child first as the child it is. However, the child not it is, but it's a human being. So accept the child as they are. Then only you can start transformation. We fight, we get agitated, we get upset, we keep on beating, we keep on punishing, we keep on questioning, We keep on bombarding, we keep on doubting, and we lose the child or lose the family member. Except because the child or whoever goes to another person or the friend, they may not guide them, or goes to a mobile to seek for answer, they may not. You are the best people who can guide them, who can help them, who can accept them. Only what say now, if you talk about levels, example, they are at this level and you are at this level down. So you are trying to pull them down. So when you're trying to use your force, they are going to use their force and they are going to go very high above you. So slowly, gradually help them to come to your level, not by force, but by love and acceptance. Handle it with care. And then you can walk in their lives. You can walk in their lives, you talk to them, relate with them, help them, make a healthy environment where you speak. I'm happy with sometimes people say, after food, we sit together and discuss. After prayer, we sit and discuss. We go for small outings where we come to know, we have some small telegames, or even whatever you play, snake and ladder together, family member. So that also helps an environment to build that. Yes, my mother, father is concerned about me. Yes, they can sit and discuss with me. Otherwise, they hide, they go in self. And about people all around. See, there are people, we know behavioral patterns are there. But best thing is there again. If you can't help, the worst part, mostly people who are outsiders, also sometimes insiders, create a big damage. They want to handle and they want to help, but they handle in a wrong way, giving wrong suggestions and destroy people's life. And literally create so much commotion and chaos. It's very difficult to again revive it. So if you are, okay, I understand some people are well equipped, but if you're well equipped, okay, help. But if you find that this is not going in proper way, take some professional guidance or lead them to people who can, or involve, because anything can happen. The worst part, person may commit suicide. Person may go in so much depression, person will find difficult to come out and person will lose hope. So as good friend, help. Help if you can help, well and good. If you can't help, lead them to some good elders or their family members who can help them to come out of this situation. So that is a suggestion. And surely we have different ways, different tactics of love, care, understanding, of asking pardon, forgiveness, of humbling your own self. Ego and pride do not keep, because this is not going to help. For people who also need help, do not keep that ego. I don't need anyone. I am well equipped. This is. When you keep this, you will never receive help. There is one hymn. No man can live as an island. I cannot live isolated life. I need people in whatever situation. Even if I have money, I need people. If I'm rich, I have all sorts of food. I need people. So remember this and work on your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Sometimes there are elders also who are struggling. Now you have given a lot of solutions to go for counseling and things like that. There have been homes where one parent's extreme nature, not so good nature, causes trouble in the house. So what if that parent, if they have some realization, if they can find some way to help themselves first, like the first smaller step towards a better family, to be they help themselves, find help for themselves, then work around their kid. If that could be the way to go ahead.
The one thing you need to, what I told you earlier, we need to realize each one needs help. Each one needs help. If you realize, not only that I'm saying, we are well versed, we have reached great heights, we have achieved this, we have got this, we are full talented, we are full of charism. But in the end of the day, each one needs help. When you realize this, what is the help which I need? That's more important. I need to literally figure out or point out, this is the situation I need help. Example, if you take my behavior, my outlook towards my child or towards my own self, or the negativity sometimes I put in my whole family, or my verbal, also non-verbal communication. So how is it helping? So best is question the people. Are you okay with my behavior? Or do you want to see change in me? When you talk and have this dialogue form, it will really help. When people if the elder is asking somebody, they also will be happy. Or yeah, they have humbled themselves. Why should we not humble? When the elders saying, okay, should I change my behavior? I remember this in one of the places, a CEO talking and giving a talk. This is big, and after that he says, how can I help you? What should I do more? So that shows the company is holding it together because CEO is ready, welcoming for corrections and for suggestions. And so then growth will happen. So if any family, so I may not see this problem, but somebody else notices it. So take help from people, evaluate yourself. Maybe if you want to write down some things, write it down. Behavior pattern. This is how you act on a situation by yourself personally. You can write it down. Okay, I act on this anger or frustration or this work, stress, getting up, or this relationship, or sleeping, or washing clothes. This behavior patterns are carried. Problem is this: if there is a great intensity, then becomes problem. But if the intensity is like anger is down, slowly, gradually can manage, handle. Take time. It will take time for us to, let's say, handle this or making it more standard, which will not affect people. But it will be there. But the intensity will come down. So you are aware you are on the right track. You're working on your life. So that will also help the family to grow.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Father. So, just to add up to introduction that I've given about him, he's been in touch with many people. He counsels a lot of people in general, families. There have been many families who have got help from him on how to be better individuals, how to be a better family. So that's why I chose this topic to be discussed with you. So yes, so whoever is listening, if you all have any further doubts, anything you all would like to have a clarity on from him, or anything in addition, or your personal experience, do feel free to share it. And thank you, Father, so much.
Welcome.